Hey guys and gals, I'm back, and we're going to be covering the formations in the Sons of Russ booklet from the Saga edition of Curse of the Wulfen. This formation, so here we got the Fire Howlers and the Iron Wolves. Two great formations. I took a look at them. I didn't run them. Uh, the Fire Howlers, practically, you're going to be running. Sure, you're going to be running Blood Claws, but you're actually going to be running Swift Claws and Sky Claws with this. One Wolf Lord or Wolf Guard Battle Leader, one unit of Wolf Guard, 2 to 4 units chosen in a combination from the Sky Claws or the Swift Claws, 2 to 4 units of Grey Hunters or Land Speeders. You are not required to take a unit of Long Fangs, Wolf Scouts, or Lone Wolves. You can take them. You can only take one unit of Long Fangs. You can take one unit of Wolf Scouts, and you can take 2 units of Lone Wolves. The restriction is the Wolf Lord, the Wolf Guard Battle Leader, and the Wolf Guard in themselves. They have to take either jump packs or Space Marine bikes. Blood Curdling Charge. Simply, it states that units that if the Fire Howlers are charging a unit, if that unit wants to make an Overwatch, they have to pass a leadership test. It doesn't work against mod, although it doesn't. Enemy units with the "And They Shall Know No Fear" or Fearless Special rules are immune to the effects of Blood Curdling Charge. Eager for Combat is another rule. All Fire Howlers can reroll failed charge rolls. Rising Fury. If you roll a 10 or more when determining the charge distance of a Fire Howler's unit, all models in that unit have the Furious Charge special rule that turn. That's great. That's great. You might not want to do Hammer of Wrath. It's like, okay, you're just gonna send in the Furious Charge and Blood Claws and Wolf Lord. The Iron Wolves. The Iron Wolves Company. The company of Eagle Iron Wolf. 1 Wolf Lord or Wolf Guard Battle Leader, 0 to 1 units of Wolf Guard or Wolf Guard Terminators, 2 to 3 units of Blood Claws, 2 to 4 units chosen in any combination from the following list: Grey Hunters or Land Speeders, 1 to 2 units of Long Fangs, 0 to 1 units of Wolf Scouts, and 0 to 2 Lone Wolves. You must include enough dedicated transports with sufficient transport capacity to carry all non-vehicle models from this formation. It's kind of it's saying dedicated transports, meaning that if you decide to take Wolf Scouts, it's like, do you need to add an extra transport to this whole thing, or what? I don't know. Or do you have to have enough transports to carry with sufficient capacity to carry everybody? I'm thinking that it's like you're gonna have to, like, if you want to get like Wolf Scouts and Lone Wolves in, you're gonna have to deploy using the Wolves Unleashed detachment to get some transports into that. They have here are their special rules. Armored Onslaught. All Iron Wolf vehicles can move an additional 6 inches when moving flat out. In addition, when taking morale checks caused by tank shock from an Iron Wolf's vehicle, enemy units suffer a -2 penalty to their leadership characteristic. Basically, that is amazing. Okay, so basically, alright, so if you decide to go up against Space Marines, and the Iron Wolves decide to tank shock the unit, Space Marines have leadership 8. Subtract that, and subtract 2 from that, you got 6. Meaning that they have to pass a leadership test on a 6, or they fall back. And it's like, Armored Onslaught. All Iron Wolves vehicles can move an additional 6. Alright, yeah. And they can move 6 inches when moving flat out. Mobile assault. Iron Wolves units can disembark from their transports even if the vehicle has moved up to 12 inches in the movement phase. That's not bad. It's like, okay, you just tank shocked the unit. You just tank shock the unit because you need to go at cruising at a maximum of cruising speed, a minimum of cruising speed, to tank shock a unit. And it's like, okay, you commence the tank shock, I bet you can disembark because it's like you're moving 12 inches, disembark, and meaning that you can catch them, meaning that, okay, while they're falling back, I can shoot them. Or if they're in a land raider, I can disembark and they can just charge at them. Overwhelming firepower. All weapon and war gear options taken by Iron Wolves vehicles are free. Razorbacks just got interesting, along with rhinos, because I think you can take with them. No, you can't. I was thinking that you could take hunter killer missiles, but I need to look that up later on. The Drake Slayers. That's Crom Dragongaze. That's the company of Crom Dragongaze. Wolflord Crom Dragongaze, or Wolfguard Battle Leader. 1 to 2 units chosen in A formation. Wolfguard or Wolfguard Terminators. No Thunderwolves. 2 to 3 units of Blood Claws. 2 to 4 units chosen in any combination from the following: Grey Hunters or Land Speeders. 1 to 2 units of Long Fangs. 0 to 1 units of Wolf Scouts, or 0 to 2 units of Lone Wolves. The Great Pack get Monster Hunter and Stubborn. They have Furious Determination. Whilst Wolflord Crom is on the battlefield, all Drake Slayer models have the Furious Charge special rule. Oh, and they have this company has no restrictions. Glory Seekers. Characters from this formation have the preferred enemy character special rule. In addition, if one friendly unit from this formation makes a successful charge, all other Drake Slayers can reroll failed charge rolls for the rest of the phase. That's pretty good. That is pretty damn good. Now this is one now the Death Wolves formation. Now that is overpowered. I think is overpowered. Because here's what I got. Herald Deathwolf or Wolfguard Battle Leader. You can take Canis Wolfborn. You have to take 1 unit of Thunderwolf Cavalry. You have to take 2 units to a maximum of 3 of Blood Claws, Sky Claws, and Swift Claws. You have to take 2 to a maximum of 4 Grey Hunters or Land Speeders. You have to take 1 to a maximum of 2 units of Long Fangs, and you have to take 1 unit of Wolf Scouts. You can take 0 to 2 units of Lone Wolves, and you have to take 0 to 1 units of Fenrisian Wolves. Now, here's the thing. The whole formation gets outflank. They have a rule called Peerless Hunters. So basically, when making reserve rolls, make a single roll for all outflanking Death Wolves units, which you can choose to re-roll. On a successful reserve roll, all of the outflanking Death Wolves units arrive from reserve and have the stealth special rule until the beginning of your following turn. That's boss. And they have a rule called Run to Ground. By making sweeping advance rolls for a Death Wolves unit, roll 2 dice and pick the highest. The Black Manes. The Claw of the Black Manes. Now, a lot of people are going to use this as a great use to deep strike, because this is just amazing. Ragnar Black Mane or Wolfguard Battle Leader. 1 unit of Wolfguard Terminators or Thunderwolf Cavalry. 3 to 5 units of Blood Claws, Sky Claws, and Swift Claws. One, you can take Lucas the Trickster with him. 4 to 6 units of Grey Hunters or Land Speeders. 1 to 2 units of Longfangs, 1 unit of Wolf Scouts, and 0 to 2 units of Lone Wolves. The Claws of Russ. Any Black Mage unit that has the option to take drop pods as a dedicated transport may take one at no points costs, though they must pay for any additional upgrades and options as normal. All drop pods in this formation arrive from Deep Strike Reserve at the start of the controlling player's first turn. Drop pods in this formation do not count towards the number of models that arrive in the first turn as part of the Drop Pod Assault special rule. Inspirational example. Whilst Ragnar Black Mage is on the battlefield, he and all units of Blood Claws, Sky Claws, and Swift Claws from this formation reroll all failed to hit rolls in close combat. The Joy of Battle. When they arrive from Deep Strike, when they disembark from their drop pods, all units in the formation have Fearless and Feel No Pain special rules. And Feel No Pain special rules until the start of the next turn. The Champions of Fenris. Now that's when basically they gave Logan his groove back. It's like they went back and it's like, okay, let's give Logan Grimnar his old rules back because not a lot of players are happy about it. So it's like he's 250 freaking points, over 300 with his chariot, and it's like he has no command buffs. He's a beat stick, but he has no command buffs. Now, according to this, it says that the Champions of Fenris are the largest great company. You can take Logan Grimnar, Wolfguard Battle Leader. You can take Arak Rockfist, 2 to 3 units of Wolfguard Terminators, or Thunderwolf Cavalry. That's just evil. 3 to 6 units chosen in any combination from the following list: Blood Claws, Sky Claws, or Swift Claws. Fearless, 4 to 8 units of Grey Hunters or Land Speeders, 2 to 3 units of Longfangs, 1 to 2 units of Wolf Scouts, and 0 to 3 Lone Wolves. That's pretty badass. And I'm loving these legendary great packs and these regular and the great pack formation because it's so flexible. It gives you a tactical understanding. You can, if you play your cards right, you could do something like that for a few points, for like maybe a 1500 or an 1850 game or higher. So the formation gets fearless. They're all fearless. The entire unit is fearless. I'm loving it. And they have this rule, and they have the High King rule. They gave him the High King rule back, which of course you saw in Sanctus Reach, but this one's better. At the start of your turn, yeah, of course, like that. The list is alright. At the start of each of your turns, choose one special rule from the following list: Furious Charge, Monster Hunter, Preferred Enemy, Relentless, Tank Hunters. All Champions of Fenris within 12 inches of Logan Grimnar gain that special rule until the start of your next turn. That's what's better, because back in 5th edition, he could only bequeath one of these rules to a unit that he had joined. Now it's a command bubble. Like in the Champions of Fenris supplement, the Wolf Guard and Thunderwolf Cavalry get +1 weapon skill. Great Pack, Cunning of the Wolf. It's basically the Great Pack is like the Great Company in the Space Wolf Codex, but it's actually a lot more minimal. You have the Wulfen Murder Pack, Infectious Ferocity, 2 to 5 units of Wulfen. Add +1 to the Curse of the Wulfen roll on the hunt or kill tables. If it's a total of 7, you get one of the rules for the hunt or kill. Hunt, Alpha Hunters, units can move twice that turn. Kill, Frenzied Murder Make. Models that effectively add 1 to their attack characteristic. Spear of Russ. A monstrous formation. This is where you can take your scout, so where you can take your vehicle squadrons. Alpha Machine Spirit. Vehicles from the Spear of Russ have the power of the Machine Spirit rule whilst they are within 12 inches of any Land Raider Crusader, or Land Raider Redeemers from the same formation. You can take up to 3 Iron Priests, 1 to 3 units of Whirlwinds, Predators, and Vindicators, 1 to 3 units of Land Raider Redeemer, or Land Raider Crusader. Lord of Iron. At the start of each of your shooting phases, nominate 1 vehicle from a Spear of Russ as either transporting or is within 6 inches of any Iron Priest from the same formation. That vehicle gains a special rule from the following list. Monster Hunter, Precision Shots, Preferred Enemy, Tank Hunters. The Word Storm Brotherhood. 2 to 5 Rune Priests. They can harness warp charges on they can harness warp charge points on a 3+ for the Tempestus discipline. The Eye of the Storm, 1 unit can become the Eye of the Rune Priest can become the Eye of the Storm, and they gain an increase and they get Living Storm, and they can cast the Living Storm ability, which is 3 warp charges. Range 24, Strength 7, no AP, Assault 2d6, Shock. Now the Eye of the Storm is that for every Rune Priest beyond the first Rune Priest adds an additional d6 to the Living Storm, meaning that you can get up to 6d6 hits. Combine that with the Helm of Durfast, and you got yourself a monster. Ancients of the Fang. 1 Iron Priest, 2 to 5 Dreadnoughts. A gathering of Ancients. All the Dreadnoughts of the Ancients must be fielded as a single vehicle squadron as described in the rulebook. However, whilst this formation includes 3 or more Dreadnoughts, they can all reroll failed to hit roll in close combat. Basically, you've got a marching storm of Dreadnoughts ready to shove down your opponent's throat. Blessing of the Iron Wolf. All the Dreadnoughts get It Will Not Die. The Saga That Walks. Friendly units with the Space Wolves faction within 6 inches of a Dreadnought from the Ancient of the Fang have the Stubborn special rule. Heralds of the Great Wolf. Yeah, you have here are the formations. Heralds of the Great Wolf. 1 Rune Priest, 1 Wolf Priest, 1 Iron Priest. The models taken can lose their independent character special rule, but they gain a certain ability. The Wolf Priest gives the unit It Will Not Die. Rune Priest, enemy units that target the heralds target the heralds of the Great Wolf in the shooting phase must subtract 1 from their ballistic skill characteristic. Iron Priest, ignore the first failed saving throw made by a herald of the Great Wolf each phase. Sage Council, you can reroll the dice when determining who deploys first and adds 1 to the dice roll when attempting to seize the initiative. Okay, Wolfkin is by far one of my favorites. It's an entire Fenrisian wolf formation. They have Monster Hunter, and they have Outflank. They have a rule here called Alpha Pack, which they can all be fielded as a single unit, and they all get, as long as there are more than 20 in the units still left, they get +1 attack. They have 1 attack for each model. they have an attack for each model. Uh, they have, and there's Call of the Wolves. Now here's a specific ruling. If a Wulfen unit is within 12 inches of either the left or right table edges when a friendly unit outflanking a Space Wolves unit arrives from reserves, you can choose for them to arrive from that table edge instead of rolling to see what table edge they arrive from. That's great. It's to make they designed it to make sure that the unit always is reinforced, and it's also you got guys backing him up. And here are the Curse of the Wulfen rules. I bet a lot of you have known. I just love the war gear. The new war gear that they have for the Wulfen is amazing. +3 the Great Frost Axe, +3 AP2 melee, Reaping Swing, two-handed. Basically, the Reaping Swing, you can when you charge, you strike at initiative. That's Strength 8 AP2. That's instant death for a lot of guys. The Frost Claws are +1 AP2 Shred Specialist. The Tempest Hammer is a Hellfrost Thunder Hammer for the Rune Priest, for the Iron Priest, and the Hellfrost Pistol is Strength 8 AP1, and which is of course Hellfrost. The Stormfrag Auto Launcher, Strength 4 AP5 Assault D3. That is gonna be amazing. I'm gonna have to build up my army so that I can run so many of these formations. First I gotta get more drop pods, then I gotta get my hands on some tanks. It's gonna be basically, these formations are gonna be amazing. I'm already hearing that a lot of people are gonna spend the money to build up their tanks, or they're already organizing their armies into some awesome formations. It's gonna be a bloodbath. But so anyway, that's the Sons of Russ. I'm gonna see if I can, and this has been part 2, and I'm going to see what I can do with the Echoes of War missions, if I can. I'll set up a video if I can. But may your sagas be long.